I'm gonna get back to that story, Sonny. Just, just you listen to Boomer Great One. He's gonna tell you about how it was back in the olden days, back before fire, back when we walked uphill for everything. In fact, we didn't even have a concept of downhill because there was no downhill. Everything was uphill. We thought that was normal. We didn't even have a word for it because there was no alternative. It was uphill all the time. You just need to reach down and grab yourselves by your bootstraps and pull yourselves up, Sonny. Because when I was your age, I bought a house for $25,000. And I made that money on my paper route and bussing tables at the local cafe. And if I could do it, you can do it too. You just need to reach down and pull yourself up and just buckle up there, buckaroo. God, I hate boomers.
So let me tell you, these are just two stories from many. I probably could give you hundreds of stories. And these stories have come up probably within the past 5 to 10 years. They're increasing with frequency. And it's because the business management strategy that is most prevalent among American leaders, corporate executives, and all that is to chintz. I would go so far as to say cheat and commit fraud against the customer. Now, in the terms of service that you've probably have to sign a million times over to log into your email or take a fart, you've probably, in the most technical of legal senses, agreed to these things. But the corporations know, and I'm not Ralph Nader, not a Democrat, but I'm against fraud and unethical behavior. They know that you don't have the time to go through and check all this. But the fact that the most prevalent business management strategy in the United States today is to essentially fuck over your client, or most euphemistically, at best sounding, we're going to cut quality to cut costs, but maintain the same price. To the point we've cut quality so much, the product doesn't work. Whether it's cigar lighters from China, although that's Chinese manufacturing, though outsourced, no doubt, by an American company, to just taking and stealing your money. That is not only the prevalent business management strategy, but it is what everyone is facing, and it is coming at the expense of infuriating your everyday average American. Well, I just have two examples I'm going to give you. Keep in mind, this is not only so common, but increasing, that it is the majority of instances that you can't go out. I remember, let me tell you about the 90s. I mean, 80, anything, let's say 2010, as recently as that and earlier. You could go out and assume that there would the profit motivation and competition motivation would ensure every commercial transaction you have with a company is one where they're not purposely out to fuck you over. And Joe Pesci was right. Go look up, I think it's Lethal Weapon 2 or 3. He's like, they come out there and they screw you. And it's a joke. It was a fucking joke in the 90s. Pesci was almost a conspiratorial guy where like everyone's out to screw you. No, it's true. They are all out to screw you. And the two that come to mind is one, PlayStation. I will be joining the PC Master Race. I have a PlayStation 5. I'm in preparation for taxes. I'm making the point. Trust me, we're going somewhere with this. Before I come down to the Northern Command, instead of bringing my box O receipts and doing my taxes here, I enter the majority, it's November, 11/12 of the receipts are in the box. I enter it in the spreadsheet, so I don't have to carry a box of receipts on the plane. I'm going through my credit card statement. I'm like, what's this $99 charge from Sony Entertainment of America? And I've had my PlayStation 5, I think, a year and a half now. Apparently, when I created a PlayStation account, which apparently you can't play a PlayStation 5 unless you have a PlayStation account. Plus, I wanted to download some video games. Like, oh, why? I understand that. That's efficient. I will go and download games. I don't have to go to the store. Only to find out that probably somewhere in the terms of service, while I'm agreeing to all this shit, I agreed that they're going to charge me $100 a year service fee, which I did not agree to. That's theft. That's fraud. I don't care what terms of service or little fine print I happen to sign away when I just want to download Ghost of Tsushima. I will not be buying a PlayStation again. I strongly recommend all of you never buy PlayStations. You do not buy Sony games. You have nothing to do with Sony Entertainment. They are thieves. They say, no, we're not. You signed. Yes, you're right. Technically, you are compliant with the law. You still stole money. And fuck you, Sony. Fuck you very much. Many of you who are tuners inners to the show know that I had a little run-in with American Family Insurance, who are fraudulent thieves. Now, according to technically to the law, are they fraudulent thieves? No, but I had to do about 3 weeks of full-time work to get them to pay out on a claim. My house got hit by lightning. A bunch of the electronics were fried. I'm giving you the condensed version. They sent over one person and he's like, oh yeah, all this stuff is fried. And I was like, wait. And then they said, oh, that guy doesn't count. He doesn't count? No. We're coming from, I think the name of the company was Strike Check. Hang on, let me look it up because there's another fraudulent company. Strike Check. Yep, Strike Check. If you have anyone coming from Strike Check, I should just do a video on them to make sure their name is like the number one thing that comes up as my YouTube video. Strike Check doesn't give a fuck about whether your electronics were actually damaged or that that thing happened or there was an electrical surge. They are purposely hired as a fake third party, a faux third party independent investigator to go in and take a look at electrical damage and assess it. The guy came in, fuck you, buddy. Look, I looked my name up, Aaron Cleary. Find the guy like, fuck you, you lying sack of shit. Like about half of the stuff that was actually damaged. He said, yep, that's damaged. What about the garage door? What about the solar power batteries? Well, no, I don't know. And then we do the dance, right? American Family Insurance. Insuring against things like accidents, emergencies. Why did I pay you the money if you're not going to insure me? And after having to go to dental school to learn to pull teeth, to start pulling teeth at American Family Insurance, and I had to go. What was it? The oven got fried by the electrical strike. And I'm talking American Family Insurance. I'm like, and I like to think it's intellectually honest. Like, yeah, I went through, this ain't working, that's fried, this is fried. And they're like, well, you're going to have an appliance expert look at your oven and then sign off on it and send us a letter. This is American Family Insurance. Never go with those fuckers. I go to appliance repair shop. Thank God there's one in Rapid City. I said, they're like, we've never had to do this. What? Like, they weren't angry at me. They're like, you need me to come to your house and then certify this thing is fried? What the repair costs might be and all this other stuff. I'm like, yeah. Because why the fuck do I have all the time in the world. And as an aside, do you know, like 3 weeks full-time work. Now, what's 3 weeks out of 52? So like 7%, 6%. That's all this time wasted that we could have, one, either enjoyed our lives, or if you care about production, we could have actually been working on real GDP. Instead, we're dealing with corruption, fraud, and unethical business practices, which is fucking costing us way more in terms of economic potential than any of you could possibly imagine. This is just one example. It was not until I went through all their fucking hoops, and I had to go up a couple levels, did they find, okay, here's your check. Thank you. And fuck you, American Family Insurance. Never. This doesn't mean State Farm or Geico or any. And I will say Progressive. Long ago, that was a pretty good car, and so I will endorse them because they were ethical business practices. I mean, it was long. I don't know. It's like video game developers 20 years ago. It's not the same thing. But could you imagine how pissed off I was? And what it really boils down to, I know this is so boring for you modern American assholes. It boils down to honor. If you want high GDP growth, you need honor, meaning you will honor your words. I will do X, and then you do X. Do you know how rare that is for individuals and companies and politicians now in the United States? Right now, you employers, but you require master's degrees or entry level. You guys are complaining because I wish we had someone who show up on time and do the job and not try to steal money. Okay, what you're looking for is honorable people. And not only do you need honorable employees, that would then also assume corporations and employers and management is equally honorable, like not baiting and switching job titles, like not requiring ridiculous levels of education, like not being a corrupted nepotistic fuck of an HR department. But if you guys don't want to be honorable, that's fine. You will pay a price in terms of low employee retention. Employee retention too. Low customer retention, low employee retention. Right? I don't know what you guys, all you corporations are just treating your customers like shit, that no one wants anything to do with you people. No one wants your products. But employees too. We can't find anyone to work. Have you tried paying them a living wage? Not Ralph Nader, not a Democrat. I hate both with the passion of 1,000 fiery suns because they're all parasitic. But even I know, like, look, do you want to make money or not? Do you want to have a product? Do you want to have profit? Well, if you're spending all your time hiring people, another example of dishonorable behavior is you corpos posting fake jobs. Was it 40% of HR people admitted to posting fake jobs? I mean, if I was president, you wouldn't be here. I don't know where you go. I'd just be like, oh, I told them to swim to Japan. I don't know where they went. I don't know. Where did all the HR people go? I bet you they're with the bankers and the professors. I don't know where those three groups of people are. They just disappeared. What happened to them? They're gone now. Did you notice how it's like the HR people that posted the fake job listings that just poof and vanished? And so did the fake job postings. What I get a joyful kick and laugh out of is how the field of business ethics, and there are ethicists, like professional ethicists, like that has arisen in the past 10 years, maybe 15, if we go back to its true origins. But you all don't do it. All this hokum and smoke and bullshit y'all put on your websites. We here at the Sony Corporation value our employees. Employees are great. We're just ESG. We care about the environment. We're here to help out the people and the greater good. Yeah, but then when it comes to practice, you fuck over everyone you possibly can. It's gotten worse with this, in spite of having all the business ethics and ESG, and you bragging about how morally good you are, and you're just fucking people over. And the response, I don't, this is such a tremendous waste of time, probably trillions of dollars, generations of young kids' lives, where I'm like, why can't we all just be honorable? What, it's in your best long-term interest. I'm not saying this is going to make you money. Make a good quality. You went through all this production you went through, but then you cut 2% away to you saved a nickel per product, and the product with the shit. You used a magnesium filter instead of a, I don't know what's better, a titanium one. And now that product went to shit, and no one's going to buy it ever again. And your business went out of business. Oh, but your first quarter profits were up. You short-sighted MBA low IQ fucks. And so is it an advanced? Am I delusional? Am I rare? Am I the one with, am I a fucking genius? Where I look, I say, you put all this effort into putting up a factory, all the white collar overhead, you filed a corporation, you got account, you got this whole machine. And at the end of the day, instead of spending the extra 3% to make sure the product works right, you chintz out and create a horrible product, treat your employees like shit, you lie. You don't pay a wage, you got loyal employees, and everyone shows up on time. No, you're good. You corporate MBA, the only strategy they know, in addition to trans, gay, black, space, witch, vaginas, ooh, with DEI, and aside from that, virtue signaling and horseshit, all they know is cut costs, cut quality to the point you ruin the product and fuck over the employees and fuck over the customers. That's all you guys know. Well, there are consequences to that. The normal ones are people don't buy your shit. I think men are really a barometer of this. Men don't buy a lot of shit they don't need, but they're really not buying your shit now. A lot of people are just trying to keep the cars. The cars are a perfect example. I'll give you a third example. No, I'm not paying $60,000 for a mid-range car. Go fuck yourself. Make cars affordable, you dumb motherfuckers. So people, oh my God, the average age of a car is 12 years old. It's the first time it's ever been 12 years old on the road. Yeah, I wonder why. Mr. $60,000 for a standard sedan. People won't buy your product. Men aren't buying your product. Now, women will keep buying products of things because they're not getting married, and they have this big hole in their soul, and they got to fill it with materialism and cats. And you could keep selling them handbags for $80,000, whatever ridiculous amount people are buying for. But guys no. People aren't, what? Even fast food, right? Fast food, you guys, McDonald's, right? You increased your prices well above what your input costs were. Oh my God, sales went down McDonald's. Oh, figure that out. $27 for one Taco Bell taco. Look at that. Oh my God, they're not buying the thing no more. So people aren't going to buy your shit. You don't have brand loyalty anymore. The video gaming, I'm fascinated by the video gaming. Guys, you may not see a PlayStation 6. There may not be another Xbox. PlayStation and Xbox might not exist. There might be one more generation, but after that, people are switching to PCs. And if anything, what games are coming out for PCs that are worth a piss right now? Probably nothing. And then, even though they're not customers, they are a stakeholder. I hate using that word, but they do have a stake in the company somewhat. And that would be the employees. You treat your employees like shit. Like, again, Josh Fluke has done a tremendous job of covering that. And you guys, really, you NBA corpos, are you that fucking stupid? We can't figure it out. Well, I don't know why the young people can't work. They're lazy. I'm like, yeah, they kind of are, but you ain't giving them no options. You have to come here and work. Why? That can be done on the internet. No, I'm a Gen X turned boomer boss. If I can't see you, how to... what? Really? You're Gen X. Have you no shame? Have you no honor? My penis is really small and I need you to come in. I don't give it. Your troubles are not my concern. Good luck, Corpos. Good luck. It's a nightmare work. Do you think the lady trying to fuck me over on the customer service at American Family Insurance, do you think she had a fun time? Do you think any of them have a fun time with one boss saying, screw this guy over, and the other guy saying, hey, here's some receipts? And now she got to go through some horse and pony show. Like, we need a certified appliance electrician to verify. I even speculated, like, my God, with all the time you're wasting on trying to prevent my claim, you're paying this person more than what the claim's going to cost. Will you give me my fucking money? No, we can't do that. But some things, some products, a little bit more important than others. I don't really need PlayStation. Now, they stole $100 from me. Do I want to find out who did that and beat the shit out of them? Yes, I do, but that would be illegal. All right. That's why Cappy goes to anger management. But in the grand schemes, is PlayStation really then, is $100 really that important? No. What about your health? You have an agreement. You have their word. You got health insurance. If something bad happens to me, you're going to pay for these things, right? And the health insurance go, oh, yeah, we pay for, oh, yeah, sure we do. All right, no, sign on that. Little fine print, except on a Tuesday, and if your name starts with a vowel. And if you didn't know, or haven't heard it in the news, this is fresh hot off the presses. I just wanted to go through the preamble to explain the dynamics. UnitedHealthcare CEO, I think this is the first or second largest healthcare company in the United States, based in Minnesota. So there you go. It's a good place with good schools. Yeah, we're very better people because you're Minnesotans, yeah? And we would never have unethical business practice. Most sanctimonious fucking state in the world. UnitedHealthcare CEO killed in targeted attack in Midtown Manhattan. Targeted. Now, Cappy, you don't know what happened. You're right. I don't know what happened. It could have been the rival healthcare industry. It could have been Cogswell Cogs bumping off Space Lease Rockets. That's an older reference for you kids you're not going to get. It could have been something nothing to do with the company, right? Yeah, you're right. But I'm going to bet, and I'll put together a video when I'm wrong, but I'm going to bet as the investigation unfolds that the cause of this man's death is going to be due to a lack of honor. I'm going to bet, now sit down, everyone. This is a crazy theory. I'm going way off on a branch. One of the largest health insurance companies tried to fuck over one of their clients. Can you believe it? Oh my God. My podcasting alone should have created a financial boom to the chair industry because everyone's got to sit down so many times with these crazy conspiracy theories and truth bombs I'm dropping. It's just, there should be like twice the amount of chair sales. I mean, what do you guys want to bet? I mean, there's a little pie chart, right? Why the CEO of UnitedHealthcare got assassinated. I'm going to say 75%, you fucked over a customer. I'm going to say 20%, customer went off the rails, not following, like you probably paid him out, right? Or her out. I don't know. We don't know who the assassin is yet. But they misread or whatever else. In other words, like the customer was at fault. And then we're left with, oh no, that's 75, now we're 95%. Now I'm going to go, let's do 70%. UnitedHealthcare screwed over customer. 10% customer wacko. That leaves us 20% other. Like, I don't know, had affair, something specific to the CEO, nothing to do with the healthcare, right? Like I said, we'll find out. I could be wrong. I'm admitting that. But I'm going to bet. I'm going to guess. The executive, Brian Thompson, don't you know? Now, if I look him up, am I going to see MB? Is he a doctor? Is he a surgeon? Is he an ethical man? Or is he MBA corporate, bro? Started the sales division, baby. Lease Beamer, yachts and shit, bro. Was fatally shot on the street outside a hotel where the company was holding an investor meeting. I don't know this guy. I'll be honest. Okay, he could be the greatest guy ever. But given the circumstances, healthcare executive is the old British guy with the cars. Oh, no. Anyway, his killer was last spotted in Central Park, according to investigators. The chief executive of UnitedHealthcare, one of the nation's largest health insurers, was fatally shot outside a hotel in Midtown Manhattan on Wednesday morning. The executive, Brian Thompson, 50, was shot just after 6:45 a.m. at the New York Hilton Midtown on Avenue of the Americas. Wow, this is like got the makings of a movie, actually. According to police, Thompson was taken to Mount Sinai West, where he was pronounced dead. Investigators were still searching for a gunman who fled along the Avenue of the Americas, the police said. A surveillance image by the police showed a person in a black hooded garment wearing backpack pointing a weapon, and another showed the person fleeing on bike. See, outside my main thesis that I'm trying to point, this almost sounds like a professional hit. How do you get through New York fast so the cops can't catch you? Bike. Neither image showed the gunman's face. The police believe Mr. Thompson was targeted in the attack, according to two people familiar with the investigation who spoke on the condition of anonymity. The shooting happened on the morning of the company's annual investor conference in New York. And Mr. Thompson had arrived early to prepare for the conference. The gunman apparently knew which door Mr. Thompson was going to enter and shot him several times from a few feet away, then fled. The gunman, the people said, ran, jumped on a bicycle, and pedaled away. The company's investor presentations were underway as news began to spread of the shooting. Ryan Langston, an analyst in the audience, said people started getting notifications on their phones. Then Andrew Whitty, the chief executive of United Health Group, the parent company of UnitedHealthcare. How much? Oh, no, that's not the main company. We have a whole other level of highly paid white-collar executives, a whole other managerial level. I'm not normally the corporate executive made this much, and then you say, yeah, but you spread it out. The corporate executive is paid so much more than the average employee. I'm like, yeah, but I've done that for Walmart, where I say, yeah, but if you take his executive salary and you divide it by the number of employees, you're all going to get like $400 a year raises. That's it. I mean, you got to understand. You pay whatever you want. If the board of directors want, you could go ahead and pay whatever you want. But it's not like, yeah, if the corporate executive didn't make all these millions of dollars, then we'd have a living wage. No, you wouldn't. You really would. They're not paid that much. They're paid a lot. Don't get me wrong, but they're not paid that much. You guys do the math. Then Andrew Whitty, the chief executive of the United Health Group, the parent company of UnitedHealthcare, addressed the audience. We're dealing with a very serious medical situation, Mr. Whitty said, according to Bloomberg. Mr. Langston said the room quickly turned very somber, very quiet. He had people, including myself, were calling the families. I let them know I was okay. Mr. Thompson was promoted to chief executive for the man. I saw nothing bad happens there. And if it does, it's because you're racist. In April of 2021, heading one unit of the large United Health Group, neither company immediately responded to messages seeking comment. Mr. Thompson's sister-in-law still processing. Well, let's not involve the family. So let me look this guy up. Brian Thompson. Well, that's a very common name. LinkedIn. I think this is no YouTube. I never want you to notify my location. All right. Is he a doctor? I'm not gonna. All right, let's look. Brian Thompson. Bio. Who is Brian Thompson? Joined in 2004. Why is there video playing, growth, specialty, experienced other positions over his 20 years at the company, chief financial officer, served financial controller. Was he a nerdy accounting guy? Oh, here it is. Certified public accounting, Price Waterhouse. Okay, I thought it was an MBA, bro. I'm getting proven a little bit wrong. And business. Great. Wait a minute. So he was a CPA. Or so he has a degree in accounting, not business. Oh, Chad Elkins is going to like that. Ba-da-ba. Yeah, Jacob Fry was a great man. All right, that's too bad. I thought he was going to be an MBA, bro. All right, so here's the thing. We do not know what happened, right? We don't know what happened. However, whether the customer was a whack job or not, or you screwed over the customer, what corporate executives might want to take from this is, we can't all be screwing over our customers all the time. We can't be, let's consider it citizens, right? Corporation, they're entities, but they are part of this society. You're part of this economy. You're part of this country, which in a sense kind of makes you citizens or sort of people where your goal is to fuck everyone over. While hypocritically and liberal white woman, passive aggressive, Minnesota nice, say how great you are and you care about the environment and all this other horseshit. And whereas I do not condone assassination and murder, I condone you all taking your money and walking away like people are doing with Disney. People are walking away from video games. Don't give these people your money. What I have noticed is that when I go out into public, it's damn near a 60% failure rate where I'm supposed to get gas. And just a very small example, the gas station doesn't accept my credit card. Is my credit card corrupted or co-opted? Has it been stolen? No, they just didn't do their job and get the credit card reader to work that day. They're not doing their job. They do not have honor. When I sign up to an online PlayStation account so that I can download video games, immediately there is a dildo in my ass for $100 a year that I didn't know was there because they lubed it up and hid it in the fine print. When I got how many examples would you like? When I needed my car fixed, had to put new seals in it, getting old. The mechanic, when they lifted up the car, the engine, because you have to separate the engine from the transmission to put the main seal there, they use wood so that it's not just metal on metal. The engine rests on something. They left that wood in the engine bay, and when I was driving down the road, I was like, why does it smell like a campfire? There must be a lot of campfires going on. Until I started seeing smoke coming out of my engine, and thank God it wasn't the actual engine on fire, but the wood that had fallen on the manifold, I believe it is. Why is it that I go to a restaurant and it's going to take 20 minutes for the wait staff to acknowledge me while I'm sitting right there at the bar? And it's one thing, like I said, if it's just PlayStation fucking you over, your credit card don't work or that. But when it's 60% of the time you guys can't do your fucking job right, and or you outright fuck over your client, if that keeps happening, people are not just going to be walking away and taking their money away or buying less or doing without. You're going to start driving people insane and furious. And then if it's something where it's your health or the health of the loved one, in this particular healthcare, there might be retribution. And I don't know, have we gone to the point that you corpos are so lacking in ethics or common sense about honor, so void of honor in conducting business, that it's going to take acts of violence against you, that you guys maybe wake up and say, we've cut way too much We've gone way too much down to the bone. Now, I'll give you another example. If you go a couple of videos back, you see about Ford and the Nagmobile. Ford is patenting a technology that allows, what was it? It allows it's basically Alexa or Alexis in your car. It will listen to your conversations and then run ads on the dashboard screen, the computer screen in your car, which behooves a whole bunch of questions like, why is there a screen in my car? I should be driving. Now, Ford admitted up front, defensive Ford say, we're not implementing this technology. We're patenting it so other people can't do it. It is really more for patenting purposes. We would never, oh God, never run ads and spy on you in your vehicle. Why, that's just insane. We won't do it, but the next NBA Duke bro might. And it's like, yeah, you know what's sad is you guys have so lost the trust and faith of American consumers that people are like, yeah, you would. And if you said you don't, we expect you would. Adobe, do you remember Adobe? God almighty, how many examples would you like? Adobe had it on their terms of service that don't quote me on this, but it was something very similar to this or exactly this. But if I remember correctly, Adobe, like if you made something with Adobe, I don't know, the past 2 or 3 years, you signed off on the agreement that they own all your creative works from Adobe Photoshop or all the stuff created with Adobe. Hewlett-Packard, if you bought a Hewlett-Packard, they require you have a subscription service for their ink, and no other ink cartridges will work on Hewlett-Packard. So guess what? Fuck Hewlett-Packard. If all you corpos want to do is, and think of the Orwellian nightmare that actually, yeah, they're screwing you over, they're fucking you over, but also think of the day-to-day operation and the Orwellian nightmare it is that I got to worry about my fucking printer spying on me. I got to get a subscription service for Hewlett-Packard ink. I'm not making this up. Corporate leaders, not only did look, I understand there's some sadistic James Bond villain psychopath bosses, right? I understand there's people with that mentality in the world, but you would kind of shut up about it, right? You like that you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't implement. Oh no, they implemented it. They implement these things. There seems to be no real ethicists. There seems to be no common sense. There seems to be no barrier to you corporations with just you almost would kill people. It's almost to that point, consciously or not. It wouldn't surprise me if you guys would actually kill people for an extra, 2% profit margin. And so when you keep fucking over your customers en masse and in such psychopathic, granular, weird, obscure ways like subscription service to printer ink and cars that are ridiculously expensive. And that, God, another thing with cars, it's more expensive to fix these cars than it is to buy an old used one. If you're going to see, whether you like it or not, corporations, we need you to survive. We need you to get by, and you need us to buy your shit. But if you're going to make this mandatory transaction maddening and painful and enslaving, don't be surprised if people rise up and, unfortunately, take acts of violence against you. Don't be surprised. And I'm warning you all now, not that I'm going to do anything. You are really at the edge right now with all this DEI, ESG, and those are not even the main ones that you have lost. Remember, you had brand loyalty, customer loyalty, where you've lost the customer. It's constantly fucking over the employees. I'm sorry, them too, your customers, by lying to them and not delivering what you promised. It is being dishonorable. And, again, it's like it's more reflective of the population the generations that now are employed in corporate America, because this is happening all over. All over. We just can't go out there without you fucking us in the ass. And yes, most people, but they're just going to boycott you or not buy your shit or do without. But if you fuck over the wrong person on the wrong day, I think we've all been there where you've lost it because of so many other pressures. I remember when I was piss poor and just getting really, this was in the very, very dark days where you started to realize everything you told was a lie and you can't find employment and you're starving. Oh yeah, your fuses are a lot shorter, very short. Some people, when they lose their fuse, they punch a wall. Others, they get into road rage. Some, if they're convinced that you didn't honor your end of the bargain and it cost them their lives or the lives of someone else, yeah. I mean, how short do you want to shave everyone's fuse there, corporals? How short? And then if they're going to lash out, some people are going to blow their tops. And they're going to lash out. And they're going to say, well, and you can say, but they signed the document. It's in the small print. It says right here. That is going to be a very irrelevant argument or point as they're hunting you down at your office. And I'm not a big ethicist type. I love how, remember when the big tech firms, well, we're getting an ethicist there. We're getting a panel. We're going to have, I'm like, how about, guys, it's so fucking simple. First, have honor, okay? Do what you say you're going to do. And then second, I don't know how many times I've said this. I don't know if I got to do a seminar, charge $1 million a head. A good product at a fair price. Have you thought about that? Instead of treating your customers as cattle to be butchered, have you considered treating them as fellow human beings that you would like to establish a good lifetime relationship with, a business relationship with, where every year you'd get repeat income? And you can't do that by fucking them over. I'm not saying you suck their dick. I'm not saying go the other way around, but you have honor. You have a gentleman's agreement. Is this agreeable? Are those terms agreeable? We will deliver you product X. Product X will work, or we'll insure you when there's a lightning strike. And we're not going to add fees, little hidden shit like the weak little ass pussies over at Sony. And then you know what people can do? They can get on with their lives. And you know what happens when people get on with their lives? They have more money to spend. Because they're not dicking around with you assholes, dragging you to court. Or in this case, hopping on a bike and shooting you. So things that are not sustainable will cease. Whether people stop buying your shit. I mean, cars is a perfect example. People can't afford your cars. They can't afford your cars. Good luck. Oh, but there won't be any new cars. I guess we're all in for some very hard times where no one buys electric vehicles because they can't afford them. No one can afford the new cars because they can't afford them. And we're all fixing up. And those don't get fixed because there's not enough mechanics. But we got a bunch of sociology majors. I guess we're all going to suffer. But the solution, at the end of the day, listen to me, you MBA-laden fucks. At the end of the day, it's going to go back to common sense, which is a good fucking product at a fair price. That's where it's going to have to go back that way. There's no other way. And when you're done experimenting with this, with your dick in the mud, ASG, DEI, corporal cut costs, lower quality, keep price same, bro. When you're done experimenting with these short-sighted, doomed to fail strategies, and you get back to some as boring and common sense as honorable, ethical behavior, good product, fair price, you're going to have nightmares. Nightmares. And just so you guys know, Do you think the people at Sony are having a good time right now? Like take Disney. Do you think they're having a good time? They're not even making money. Forget the money. Do you think Kathleen Kennedy has enjoyed her stint at Disney? These people are miserable because they're trying to fuck over people. Do you know that when you make people happy or at least satisfied, you feel a little bit better about yourself, right? I do a good video. I answer a consulting question. I'm not like doing backflips, but I did a good deed. I delivered a fair product. God almighty, the mental illness you corpos have. Like, I'm trying to think if I were to apply. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to screw over my clients, and I'm not going to do a video for a month in the hopes that down the road they just drop it like an insurance claim. Well, I'm somewhat hopeful for Elon. I mean, they all speculate he's got different business, but there's so many wide open industries. Like he could do cell phones that don't spy on you. He could do cars. Well, he does do cars. He could do video games and movies. There's so many, and all you got to do is not fuck over your customer. There you go. All right. Link below, Asshole Consulting. You want to take a look at some of my personal financial management courses. I have them available on Teachable under the Clary School of Economic Philosophy. Rashil, our Indian agent in the field, $2. Do you think that we will reach Civil War? No. I mean, over a long enough period of time, sure. Yeah, I mean, you give a million years. Yeah, sure. I'm sure there'll be a Civil War in the future somewhere, but not over this. People are too tired, too weak. What are you going to fight for? Really, I mean, what people are just the Civil War is happening where men are shutting down. Atlas is shrugging. That's the Civil War. Men aren't working as much. Women are actually, their labor force participation rates are dipping down. We're not investing. Really, I was talking to DT years ago. And we're like, man, I wish I could boycott these firms, but I don't buy any of their shit. And you start, I'm like, I don't buy anything. The real revolt will come when everyone, they're like me. They go shopping at Goodwill. They got an old used car and an old used truck, and they don't go see the movies, and they don't buy the newest thing, and they're not going to college. I don't know who's going to buy corporation shit anymore. I really don't. Bull Muscle, $2. Ride a bicycle. Don't worry about cars. Yes, Bull Muscle, but not everyone lives in Hawaii. I'm with you, man. I am. I remember. And there was an element when all I had was my bicycle. There was an element of charm and more innocent times back then. And then the Minnesota winter would kick in and you freeze your fucking testes off. Rashil Patel, $5. Remember when I asked you to review a certain video game? What happened to that? Was that Ghost of Tsushima? Was that the one? No, now several people recommended Ghost of Tsushima, but Rashil, if that was you, thank you very much, sir. Ghost of Tsushima was an amazing, yeah, it was, and even that actor opened his fucking mouth. It's like, just shut the fuck up. All you gotta do is be quiet, man. Go be a communist in secret. Just or Harrison Ford. I know it's tangential, but it's related. Harrison Ford endorsing Kamala Harris. Do you know how many, well, maybe not young boys, but old men or middle-aged men, like he destroyed their hero? Like, just shut up. Just shut the fuck up. Thomas Rowell, $2. HR, the girl equivalent of Dubrow finance job. Yeah, they're different specialties of evil and incompetence. They're on the evil and incompetent side of the battle, but they're different creatures. Dude bros are just dude bros who want to like not work for a living and live the bro lifestyle. HR girls are more Ben Gesserit and are motivated by dude bro guys are lazy. HR girls are just evil I don't know what motivates them. Power tripping, I guess. Making people jump through ridiculous hoops. But both could be fired with extreme prejudice. They could be removed. They're cancer. They really are cancer. There are some certain functions that they do provide. You do need sales and you need recruiting, but they have metastasized into large tumors that are doing way more bad than good for corporate America. Generation Apollo, $5. Get ready to see more of this against CEOs that push the whole "you will own nothing and be happy buying licenses" BS. People are finally snapping. I don't know if this is a trend. I mean, if we were to look at violence and things like that, that's why this stands out. But there's a powder keg. Corporations have been just keep on dumping a bunch of gunpowder into this keg. We're going to screw you over here. We're going to screw you over there. We're going to screw you over this. Oh, like what gets me is we're going to get you lost in customer service on the phone. We're going to give you the runaround, like the old scene from The Incredibles, where the lady like is just trying to get whatever. I think it was an insurance company. You can either help people live their lives or you can tax them and make it harder for them to live their lives. And corporations have decided to make it harder to live their lives. I am not a Democrat. I am not Ralph Nader, but you cannot fuck over people, period. I don't care if you're the government or corporation. What I don't get is what is so complicated to understand about my idea of like, this is not hold hands, kumbaya. This is, dude, it's like I watched a website called Plainly Difficult, and he goes through natural disaster or man-made disasters like bridges failings and dams collapsing. And the dams are fascinating to me because they spend 98% of the money with the concrete and the rebar on it, but then some supplier chinsed out on 2% of the iron to shave it down a little bit so he can make an extra 2%. And that's 98% of your money and effort wasted. And corporations are the same thing. Like they have all the setup in the infrastructure. They have the resources, the supply. It's like putting together an orchestra, right? You get everybody there. You're ready to go for the production. And then just one guy you tell to play off key ruins the whole fucking production. Why don't you go the extra 2%? Think not next quarter, but the next 10 years so that 98% of your efforts aren't wasted. I'm not saying we all got to be buddy and we give hand jobs to our customers, but produce a quality product so that they're loyal and they come back. Robert Archer, $5. Hello from the tundra. It's only a -20 and the cows are fine. Good day. Which where's it -20? Is it that cold in Minnesota? But we got the seasons. Don't you know? Hang on. Weather. Minneapolis. It's 23. Oh, you must be in Canada or something. I don't know where it's -20. Eli Noparent, $5. He just says hi. Hello, Eli. Thomas Rao, $2. Some people have lied about their insurance claim. No, I agree, Thomas. I agree. But in this particular case, I'm showing them this. I'm showing them that. Any logical or see, this is where you need people, not policies. They'd say he just built the house 3 years ago, 2 years ago. He has relatively new appliances. All this other shit is fried. I mean, that's visible. I'm taking pictures of actually fried electronics, all black and melted. Yeah. Why would my TV got fried. Why would I guess you could say, well, then he'd take the functional TV that wasn't fried and sell it. I guess. And yeah, but you sent in 2 agents. Oh no, those solar panels, they're fine. I understand people are scum too, but at least if you're going to offer a product or a service, offer the product and the service. Don't fuck around. And that is the first step. If they're coming in there, oh, we're going to chintz you, we're going to screw you over. Right? These video games coming out, Tom, they're purposely designed to be woke and propagandist horse shit. Right? I'm trying to think of what else. Food. I'm not a big nutrition guy. I'm not RFK Jr., but they're purposely putting cheaper ingredients, lower grade shit, and it's costing us our nutrition and a little bit of our health. Right? And that'd be fine. But goddamn, man, don't keep the price the same. And don't give me the sanctimonious Minnesota nice lion horse shit that you care about the environment and the people. And you're such good little people. Ross the skunk, $5. Holy F, targeted. I bet somebody got bankrupted by them as well. Yeah, there's something. Here's let's add another little sliver of piece of pie. It could be, see, the guy's an accountant, CPA. I usually trust those guys. Normally, your CPAs aren't your slick MBA dude bros. He could just be the figurehead. He could. And somebody down the chain of command fucked over somebody. Or, oh my God, could you imagine? Healthcare is so complicated, the customer didn't understand what the fuck was going on. Imagine that. And they just had it. They just had it, and they flew off the handle. And this guy who was innocent, he didn't do it. He's just this nerdy CPA. He knew his stuff. Like, yeah, we should put him in charge. Well, you're the CEO. And a lot of you might want to think about that, becoming heads of organizations that fuck over people. Not to say UnitedHealthcare fucked over someone, because never. Insurance company would never do that. But yeah, do you really want to be? I mean, think about Bob Iger. All right, I am not. Of course, obviously not. But do you think his profile and the shit products that came out, you don't think there's some people wishing ill will on that guy? To which I would say, no, never commit violence. Never. Not only because it's illegal, but could you punish this guy more than him losing $1 billion a year in movies and Kathleen Kennedy? Like, really, you can't hurt these people more than they're hurting themselves. That's another thing that helped me go through anger management. I was like, oh, wow, these people are really torturing themselves. But yeah, that's something you guys might want to think about. You're president, CEO of this company. You're somewhat public figure. People can look you up. Is your company fucking over people? You may not have wanted to, but you better, what was it? It's not perfectly analogous, but you should know what your company is doing. And I had a video out there where it was the head of EA. There are two people that head up EA, which hired out BioWare, I believe, to create Veilguard. Or was it Concord? Whatever, if I recall correctly, BioWare is a studio owned by EA. BioWare came out with a game recently that was just absolute woke trash. And I asked the question of the executive, the CEO of Electronic Arts, like, don't you go down to the floor? Don't you sit in meetings and say, hey, maybe we shouldn't have trans surgery scars on our video games? Like, how aloof and unaware are you? Don't you walk the floor? This might prompt corporate executives to take a very vested interest in the products they're delivering, which I don't know why they're not. I mean, really, what is it? You get your MBA rank and you go into the C-suite and you're like, oh, here's our hewers. Are they going to suck your dick? And here's a tray of food and some champagne. Nah, just sit in here and put your feet up. And we don't know what's going on down below. I guess our latest product killed a bunch of people and poisoned them. Well, sucks to be them. I mean, really, some Elysium shit, which was a fucking whiny, complaining movie. But I mean, honest to God, are you not aware of the people you're responsible for? Holy copay cap, man. Moy-free lifestyle. The irony is, here I am. I mean, lifelong libertarian, vote Republican all the time. And I'm sounding like a consumer right. I guess I am a consumer rights activist. I mean, I was all on the corporation side. I'm like, yeah, I got good service and that car got fixed. Like, discount tire. How many ways? How many ways? Discount tire. Fuck you. I got 2 tires. I go in. And it looked a little expensive. I look at the details. I'm like, what's this $100 insurance charge? Oh, that's to insure in case your tires are, don't work. I'm like, if they don't work, you're replacing them for free, motherfucker. Discount tire, never use them again. Here's another one. Jimmy John's, right? You go in, they stopped doing this. I think someone busted them. Would you like cheese on your sandwich? Yeah, I suppose I would like cheese on my sandwich. $4 They don't tell you it costs $4. $4 on what's a sub sandwich over there? Like $8? You've increased the price 50% because I wanted cheese on it? Fuck you, Jimmy John's. And that adds up. And I don't mean it adds up financially. It keeps cutting that fuse shorter and shorter on people. I think you corporations better start thinking about how we make people's lives better and not how do we fuck them over for the next quarter of profit. Truth be told, most of the in the Matrix are narcissistic. True. William Curtin, $5. New York City is praying this wasn't just some random nut job. Otherwise, New York is done. Why is New York is already done? People don't want to be in New York. Whoever the security team was for this guy is done. Did they hire all the affirmative action hires from Trump's Secret Service detail? Did they get the fat chick? Maybe that's who protected this guy. Did they get the former Secret Service head? She was in charge of Pepsi's. Maybe she was the one defending him today. Moy free lifestyle, $5. Men have to start investing, taking bank loans, taking risks, and investing in a better future. It's really not that hard. Be the change you wish to be. Fuck society. No. We don't have to do it. No, Moy free lifestyle. How dare you get in the way of women? I think it's time for women to lead America. It's their time, you patriarchal asshole. How dare you want to take that money could be lent to somebody who's going to start a nonprofit to shave dog nuts. I don't know what they're going to do. Nope. But that's another thing. I'm looking at the business to consumer. Could you imagine business to business? I'm making brooms. All right, let's say I got my broom factory. And if everyone's trying to fuck over everyone else, I need the bristles on the broom. What is that? Hay, some kind of thing. And the haymaker starts replacing it with a lower quality shit because it saves them 2%. I start making the brooms and the brooms break down or just decay in a year. And people go, what the fuck, this broom? And I'm like, it's that guy. They're not going to give a shit. They're going to say, you sold me a shitty broom. Oh, yeah, but the straw manufacturer saved himself 2%. And we all shut down anyway. I MBA. I have MBA. And we profit go up next quarter. Ha, 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 ha. And then, oh, yeah, what about quarter 7? There's a quarter 7? Never mind. Just fucking be poor. Mods, that's all. $2. The obese manager in the movie Wanted. Never saw that. Slowest Trey, is this you, man? Slowest driver from Nebraska, $5. Looky there, Marge. That right there is a real Indian. I've never seen a real Indian before. Let's slow right down and get a better look. Are you picking on Rushil? Are you picking on Rushil? Is that a Simpsons quote? Robert Archer, $5 in northern North Dakota. South, what, Minot? I don't want to know exactly where you live, man. I'm just wondering where it's -20. Let's take a look. Weather, Minot, North Dakota. Oh, yeah, look at that. 7 degrees. 4. Yeah, it's going down to 0. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I keep an eye on Rapid City weather. I'm waiting for a day like it's really cold, and I'm going to go take a bunch of nice pictures. I may even go so far as to take a bunch of nice pictures when the sun is out, even if it might be a cloudy, rainy day here, so that I have pictures on hand to send my friends back home. Picture of it looking like it's nice and warm when it's absolutely fucking cold and miserable up there. Hex Monkey, $10. They built the luxury condo tire in San Francisco. It is now tilted. Yes, I saw that. I saw a documentary on that. It's now tilting and sinking because the contractors went cheap on the foundation. Value's down 80%. Exactly. And Hex, you bring up a great example here. A cheaper plastic, a slightly lower grade concrete. So the contractor saved what, 2 or 3%? And now, how much was invested in that? We got to talk about a couple $100 million, right? Do you see the tremendous cost of being dishonorable? Getting well, you mechanics know this. You get a seal that isn't as good, and then that causes too much whatever fuel or air or whatever, and it destroys the engine. A $2 seal that you decided to sell for $1.50 because it was made out of the wrong material and you save 50 cents now has destroyed a $6,000 engine. When you talk about public works project, or I guess big, large infrastructural projects, yeah, all that money was wasted. How many people's lives were wasted? How much time do these people have to stick around suing somebody? They could be working. It would take some doing, but I would love to measure honor in different economies. I bet you if I went to Singapore, there are very honorable people. And though I do not like the Scandinavians, not because they're Scandinavians, but because of the culture and their choices and the self-loathing that seems endemic to that group, they at least do have honor. Like when the Swedes make a sewer system, I'm going to assume they make it right the first time. Not here in America. Jessup comes in. We can use tin instead of iron. Yep. Think, what could we, you know what it's like, Hex? This is like going to war. You know, you spend all these resources and money on basically tools of death. You know, tanks, guns, bomber planes, bombs. None of it produces anything of value. It's actually quite the opposite. It's to go and destroy the other people's ability to produce things of value. But even in the domestic economy, none of that helps us live our lives. We don't eat. We don't have fun. You know, nothing, all that resources, all that time, all that money gone away. It's the same thing happening now. My cigarette lighter or cigar lighter, that lasted 6 months. That was all wasted. Aaron, it's just like, yeah, you're right. It's one little thing, but what if it's all things? The microwave clock don't work. I just had to replace a thermostat for the furnace. It wasn't the furnace. It was the thermostat. The thermostat was 2 years old. Do I want to spend 4 hours looking at thermostats? Got to put a new thermostat in. This one's acting up. God, you can't make a fucking thermostat. I'll tell you this, the future, at least for anyone interested, it's typically going to be, guys, the future is going to be analog. Find an old washer and dryers from the 90s. No, I'm not getting your beepity boopity boppity Samsung beep beep washer dryer. Old cars. Why is right now, you see how the camera does that? It shifts. Do you see that? What the fuck? Logitech, what the fuck? See, and it's little things like this. It's not death by a bazooka shot to the chest. It's death by a million mosquito bites. And you fucking lose it. Mr. Anominate, $5. Elon does spy and listen in your Tesla. They sell the data. Okay, then no, I'm not doing it. I wasn't going to get a Tesla anyway. Roll Man Life, $10. Crowder did an expose on McKinsey & Company, which is the main consulting company for these large corporations. And he exposes the evil that they tell their board members and C-suite executives. Oh, I'm sure McKinsey just is the latest new fad thing. What about Bain? Is Bain up there too? McKinsey is the one that came up with the original report. Says, yeah, diversity is profitable. It's like, no, it isn't. Naughty DJ Aftershock, $5. Bro, Big C's up for Carlson, bro. Big C's up for Carlson, bro. Sucks that I couldn't get hired at JP Morgan. Thought I was totally getting in. Lucky my frat bro got me a job at US Bank. Cargill's laying people off. Saw that. Thomas Rao, $5. They've run out of good products that provide value, but don't want to lose profit. Enter subscription services, rent-seeking minimalism is all right. I'll give you another one. I mean, guys, It's all over. It's ubiquitous. Word I didn't know if everyone kept using. I'm like, is that the new word that we all use to sound smart? Ubiquitous. Microsoft is requiring everyone update to Windows 11 next year. And by next year, I mean a couple months from now, 2025. No, no, fuck you. I just got this computer. It's got Windows 10. Fuck off. Minimalism is our answer. Yep. We're going to move more and more towards the Amish and less like what would be the opposite of it? Like independent journal major living in New York City, having mom and dad pay for shit. That'd be, slowest driver in Nebraska, $5. Margin, I just got a RV cappy. We'll be up to South Dakota soon to see Mount Rushmore and wife swap. Where's the nearest Jason's Deli? Marshall cook good. There's not a Jason's Deli in South Dakota or in Rapids. I don't think so. I know there's one in Vegas. A couple in Vegas. Yeah, but I don't think there's a Jason's Deli. Moy Free Lifestyle, $2. Make America righteous small business again. Yeah. Well, small or big, there is a tremendous opportunity. I believe, what's his name? Elon's a little bit more of a showman. I mean, and he delivers. I mean, he puts rockets up into space. He does have Starlink. I'm not, but I think he's just got too many opportunities. It's like, just deliver on one, man. Just make some good video games. Okay. That's what I want. But big or small, there's an opportunity for an honorable business to go into business and make a product, make some profit. Make America prudent, just, fortitude, temperate, horny, and fertile again. Yeah, that would require the agreement, consent, and what's the word I'm looking for? That would require 1/2 the population to agree to that strategy. And they're kind of motivated by different things. Don't know what, but they're motivated by different things. And Eli Neparent, again, $5. Holy shit, Cappy is really cutting a promo over 1 hour. No, it just pisses me off. All I want to do is show you guys what's coming down the pipe. That's it. This is what's going to happen. And more so to have posterity. Because 5 to 10 years from now, when corporations are, hey, we ought to, scale down a little bit and good products at a fair price. And then I'll be like, here I was the entire time. Here I was. You didn't have to listen, waste 10 years listening to these idiots. And I won't lie, it's a little bit of ego. Like, yeah, I'm right. I'm going to be proven right. And go fuck yourselves. Not you guys, but your standard corpo. Time to be popular. He thinks ESG is stupid, bro. Thomas Rowell, fuck it all. I'm going hiking today. God bless you, Tom. I do that as well, but I went hiking yesterday. I found a scorpion. I found a tarantula. I put them up on my Instagram. I filmed them. Terry the tarantula. I'm going to go watch my Gintama after I install an air filter in my motorcycle. All right, that's it. Questions, answers, assholeconsulting.com. Go take a look at the book, Bachelor Pad Economics, so you manage your personal finance. Look, yeah, you know what? There. While the whole world is trying to fuck you over, why all go get Bachelor Pad Economics, read up on it, and learn how to get your financials, like 401ks, IRAs, all that. I know it's boring. Let's just get that out of the way because what are you going to do? Go and try and buy some bread that isn't moldy? What are you going to get some gas that has sawdust in it? How are you going to let the world fuck you over today? I promise to you, Bachelor Pad Economics will not fuck you over. It's just a basic financial, like universal, complete, thorough financial advice. There you go. Get your finances together. All right. See you guys later. Toodles.